50 years ago, I was a newspaper reporter. I was a fledgling newspaper reporter, trying to find my footing, working for a black publication in Newark called the Newark City Journal. Had about 2 reporters. And I was sent to, since I live in Jersey City, I was sent to cover King's appearance at Metropolitan AME Church. And I came to the church, got lucky, came early, got a seat, because at some point there was no getting in the building. I mean, people were all over the place. Across Bergen Avenue, there were at least 2,000 or 3,000 people out there. And I was sitting in the front row, and I saw King come out of the back way, you know, onto the podium. And he looked like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders as he was walking. It was amazing, the transformation, because as soon as he started to step out onto the stage, you could hear the women squealing. It sounded as if a rock star was on his way out. And as he approached the podium, there was this rush of applause and cheers. And but what I can't tell you is what he spoke about. I wrote about it for the Newark City Journal, but like, I got to tell you, reporters live a strange life. You write something and you forget about it because all editors want to know, what have you done for me lately? They only want, there's an old saying, they're wrapping fish about what you wrote yesterday. They want to know what's new today. But I'll never forget the stir he made here. He made quite an impression on the people here. The energy that he projected seemed to go out with him. And you could feel it when you watch people walking away from Metropolitan. They were talking about it. There was a joyful sort of a ambiance in the crowd. And the next week, a week later, I went to work at the Newark City Journal, and I was told I was being fired. Me and the editor were having real difficulties. And he decided he didn't want me around anymore. And we got into a bit of an argument about it. And while we're arguing, the telephone rang, and the managing editor picked the phone up and said, "What?" You know, I sort of heard him out of the corner of I saw him out of the corner of my eye. He was very disturbed. And he put the phone down and said, "Dr. King has been shot." And what? I mean, that stopped the arguments and everything else, because he was on the cusp of doing the Poor People's Campaign at that time. And a few minutes later, the phone rang again, and it was the news that he was dead. It was on the AP wire. We had an AP ticket tape. It was on the wire. And all hell broke loose in America. I mean, there were riots all over the place. It's not what King would have wanted, but it's what happened.